Wow. Over underreaction. What say you, Sal?
I'm going to say overreaction. I hope they don't trade him. I like to see them win with him, with this team, right? He deserves it. The fact that they say they're going to be selectively aggressive in free agency just drives me crazy. Selectively aggressive sounds like a lawsuit filed against Jerry Jones by a waitress at a steakhouse in Dallas. But they actually, the Parlay Kid and I were talking about this. We're lifelong Cowboys fans. These guys say exactly what you don't want to hear. The Stephen Jones, the Jerry Jones. I really don't think I've ever been down on this team as much as I have. Can I just join you with the Panthers?
Yeah, let's get the bag out. Yeah. We just put it over your head. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Oh, man.
It's a tough feeling.
Don't trade Micah.
Well, good news is that it does seem like Parsons is not going to get traded. It does feel like it's a lot of prognostication, right?
It's not good for him, but yeah, I guess it's good.
That's good. It's all right. Next up, Sal, the three-cone drill is the most useless event at the NFL Combine. Over or underreaction?
I'm going to say underreaction. No, we try to figure out what this is because I think the three-cone drill actually contains 4 cones.
Yes.
Which is interesting. So I feel like they just needed an extra event and they started throwing cones on the field. Like, yeah, let the kids play, keep them busy. But you're never going to see, it's useless. You're not going to see guys meandering on the field for speed or agility for anything in a synchronized fashion. You're just not going to. Do you like the 3-cone rule?
I think it's okay. I think the worst part is the Wonderlic, right? I mean, I feel like that test, Mo Claiborne, right, is the one. He had a 4, I think, on the Wonderlic. And another Cowboy. And ended up being, a really good player, but didn't do so well in the test. So I feel like the test is like a way to kind of go after and stick it to somebody.
Interesting. How did he do with the cones, though? That's the thing. I actually looked up the 3-cone thing. Sorry to go back to it. I mean, I feel like you might as well do bottle flipping. In 2018, Jordan Thomas broke the 3-cone record at 6.28 seconds. And he was drafted in the 6th round, 211th overall by the Texans. They're like, wow, you were really good with the cones. You know what? We'll wait till the very, very end.
Yeah,
if you're there, you're there. If not, so be it.
Yeah, so be it. We'll move on. I think a lot of people will be watching to see what happens, and the 3-cone drill we will be watching. Next up, Sal, UConn St. John's is currently the best rivalry in college basketball. Over or underreaction?
Well, I want to hear your thoughts. Who cares what I have to say about this has to crush you, right? You need it to be Duke UNC.
Yeah.
You don't want something else. The problem is this Danny Hurley is so nuts. He's going to create his own rivalries just by being him, right? So you pull St. John's into the mix. They're doing very well. UConn on their way down. I'd say top 2. I think overreaction. You still got to go UNC, Duke, right?
Yeah, I think it's always Carolina Duke, but it is fun to have Pitino versus Hurley and have those two guys kind of. Last year it was the opposite where UConn was unstoppable. St. John's was trying to be in the fight. This year it is completely switched, so it's a lot of fun. Good rivalry.
I feel like he screwed up by not taking the Laker job now, and he's going to make everyone pay for it. Everyone in his way.
He could have Luka and LeBron live in Los Angeles.
There's Sister Jean cursing the DePaul cheerleaders. That's also a rivalry.
Yeah, there's a lot of people talking about maybe there's a situation where the Pop-Tart takes Sister Jean's job as the mascot.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's what some people are saying. So
oh, my God.
A lot happening in college basketball. Keep an eye on that. Next up, Alexander Ovechkin still isn't a top 5 NHL player of all time. Over underreaction. How do you feel about Ovi?
We got some crazy hockey fans in the booth there who will be able to weigh in better than I'm going to say. You know what? I'm going to say underreaction. You got Gretzky or Lemieux, not Gretzky or Lemieux. Gretzky, Bobby Orr, Lemieux,
right.
Howe, Yager, Rocket Richard. Maybe he was first to 500 back when that wasn't the thing that was happening. I feel like this is the biggest achievement with the least noise in the history of the 4 sports, to be honest with you.
Why is that? Do you just feel like we decided that we don't like Ovi for some reason?
Yeah, he's a Russian spy. And people can't get over that.
It does feel like it's a little bit personal.
I don't know that he's a spy. I can't prove that. I'm going to jail, aren't I?
Yeah, he's no Wayne Gretzky. That's all we know. Next up, Sal, changing their facial hair policy was the New York Yankees' best offseason move. Over underreaction?
I'm going to say underreaction. Is the Ringer going to change theirs now?
I think so.
John Jastrzemski's coming up, right?
Yes.
I think, Like, can he even grow hair?
I think we're going to have to ask him. We're going to get him on, and we'll ask him about this.
All right, ask him. It's dumb with the Yankees with this. You can't shave. Did they tell you can't brush your teeth? You can't do that? Well, you can't. Don't dream of clipping your toenails, Giancarlo Stanton. Like, enough. Let everyone have facial hair. This is the way to do it. Watch, they'll make $1 billion off a Gillette endorsement too now.
What do you think about, like, just big picture, the fact that you made this decision to do this?
I didn't make this.
Oh, yeah, you didn't do this.
I did?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was going to blame you for this, but it sounds like you didn't do that, so we're fine. Shout out to the Yankees. They figured it out. Last one, Mr. Beast will be hosting the Oscars within 3.5 years. Over or under reaction? Do you believe, Sal?
No, it'll be interesting. All right, look under your chair, Meryl Streep. If this glob of whatever you're grabbing, if it has a coin in it, you can win $10 million. That would be interesting. You know, it's a miracle my cousin Jimmy got to host 4 times because they're very precious, the Oscar people, about having a connection. The host should have a connection to movies. So I don't even know how that happened. So unless Mr. Beast, stars in Conclave 2, Electric Boogaloo, I don't think it's going to happen.
I feel like it would be a bridge too far. Idiocracy, we're right on the verge of Idiocracy, and I feel like if Mr. Beast is there and he's walking out and he's making, Timothy Chalamet come out and do whatever little bit they got going, I think we're going to be in a tough situation or, situation at large. So there you go. Let's go up the Riverboat Captain. Let's have some fun. The question is simple, Sal, and they're asking this. In honor of the Oscars this weekend, what was the best sports movie performance? Welcome back to Through the Ringer. I'm your host, Tate Frazier, and he's back in the building in Los Angeles. Cousin Sal,
Great to see you, buddy.
Great to see you. Long time. It was a long week. I missed you.
I had the week off. Who filled in for me, by the way?
We had such a great show.
Who was it?
It was so good. Yeah? It was so good. Go look it up. You're going to go watch it right now.
Right now? All right. We have some stuff.
We missed you, though, because there was a lot happening in the world. We got Cousin Sal back in studio. We got a lot to get to. We're going to go play my favorite game, over under reaction. Did you miss it? Was a long week as you waited to get back into this?
I got to be honest. I left. I was like, I'm really not going to miss any of that. And then when I was like in Mexico, laying on the beach drinking a non-alcoholic pina colada, I was like, no, I don't miss it at all.
Oh, I know. You should have stayed there. Yeah, but you're back, and we appreciate you coming back. Now we're going to play my favorite game. Let's do it. Over under reactions. I give you something here, Sal, and you try to figure it out. Let's start with Adam Silver. Adam Silver has replaced Gary Bettman as the worst commissioner of the 4 major sports. Over or under reaction?
What you did there. How the mighty have fallen, right? With Adam Silver. I hope when he falls, he's got those giant ears to break his fall, so he'll be okay. Well, I'm going to say this is a little bit of an overreaction because I think the NBA runs on autopilot, and for better or worse, Adam Silver's kind of just there, right? Like, you got these athletes who do a great job of promoting themselves on social media, creating beefs that don't exist. But they don't, maybe some of them want to play so hard on the court, right? Yeah. And so I get it why, when an All-Star weekend runs around, I think this is why you're saying this, because it was such a disaster in many people's lives.
A lot of finger pointing happened.
A lot of finger pointing. So, and hockey with Gary Bettman took a step up with the Fatal 4-Way, whatever the hell it was called.
Is this good for Adam Silver? Because there's been a lot of people, obviously, that throw out the, Gary Bettman is the worst, or, Roger Goodell is the worst. It might be good for him to be considered the worst. Maybe he can then change the momentum that way, right?
If you're considered the worst, you could go on and do great. You could become president of the United States.
That's what they say. That's what I've heard. Yeah, there's a lot of things that happen. Next up, I say to you, Sal, Aaron Rodgers won't be a starter in the NFL next season. Over or under reaction? What say you?
I think... Oh man, this
I like
is
this.
tough.
You're thinking about it.
This is a good one. All right, I'm gonna say underreaction. I don't think he's going to be a starter. I don't think he should be. I think enough GMs have tape on him, and I get it. His stats ended up being decent compared to what his used to the last couple of years. But if you look at it, he took him out of a lot of games. His good stats came in games that didn't matter. It came in garbage time. I don't think there's one non-playoff team that he could bring to the playoffs. Can we go by that? Is there anyone? Who do you think? You think he could take the Steelers to the playoffs?
That's the name that everyone's been throwing out, the Steelers, for sure. It does feel like the Matthew Stafford situation where maybe Stafford goes somewhere else, gets paid more, and then maybe Aaron Rodgers tries to slide in there and take his job. That could happen.
Let him eat ayahuasca watching Jeopardy in a cave in Brazil somewhere. Forget it. Yeah. Football's done with you.
It's done. Take a break. Have some fun out there. Next up, the Cowboys should trade Micah.